What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph. You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Dreamcatcher. Yes, indeed, Dreamcatcher Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Merrick Daron, and Merrick wanted to see me react to this song by Dreamcatcher called Chase Me. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, oh wait a second, yeah, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Happy Face Entertainment, all right? And the video has 16 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? You ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Dreamcatcher, no idea what that says. Chase Me MV. Cool. I starting at 8 seconds. I pushed play and we had the Happy Face Entertainment logo and the whole intro of speed. And just to avoid copyright issues and hopefully avoid any blockages, I'm not going to include that in there. That's why we're starting at 8 seconds in case anybody wonders. Just to avoid that. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
나만 보면 안 된대 짜릿한 걸 원할 뿐인데 덤빈 사람들 꿈속은 따분하잖아 어젠 간단하게 스릴러 오늘은 뭘 해볼까 발칙한 장난을 시작할 거야 어둠 몰래 다가가서 꿈 속에 뛰어들어 난 밧줄이 막 터지듯 깜짝 놀라게 뭐가 나쁜 거니 도대체
What happened to the chordal progression there? Wait,
what? Hold on.
it sounded good. It just I wasn't expecting it. Hold on. Down. We're in A. Okay, so A.
Chase me, 그런 날 찾아봐 아무도 멈출 수 없어 날 더 찾을 수 없게 다른 꿈에
Wait, what?
다른
It almost sounds like they're modulating, but they're not. What is going on here? Oh, I see what. Okay. Okay, so it's F major instead of F minor on the 6. Interesting. That's an interesting turnaround. So they've been utilizing the minor 6, the F to the E, down to the A. They've been using that as a chord progression within the chorus. But this time they go the F sharp, they go the F minor to the E, and then they turn around and they go, instead of back up to F minor, they switch it around to F major, and then G major, and then A, following a minor progression as far as root notation, but the chords are majorly based. Interesting. That's why it sounds like it's modulating. Okay. I think that's what's happening. Let me just hear it one more time, just to be on the safe side. Oh, wait, it goes to C? Wait a minute. So F to C to A. What? No. That's why it feels awkward, because the F to the C, you would want to resolve to a D, but instead we're going back down to the root, which is the A. D, E, F, C, A. Huh. Okay, it's creative. It's definitely creative. Did not see that coming from a mile away. It absolutely threw me for a loop. So, good on them. Good on them. 아하.
뭐가 나쁜 거니 도대체 본능은 난 따를 뿐인데 빨간 사과를 한 입 딱 베어물고서 잠깐 나이란 게 뭔데 그래 나를 맞추려 해 그저 규칙적인 심장박동 위에 7가지 작은 놀이를 선물해 매일 벽을 모두 꺼내들어 꿈속에 가득 던져 돈을 몰아치듯 어지럽한 날 baby 포근한 베개가 조금 축축해질걸 막을 수 있니 yeah. Chase me 한번 날 잡아봐 아슬아슬거리에서 벌써 나는 거기 없는 걸 Chase me 그래 날 찾아봐 아무도 멈출 수 없어 날
This was a fun listen. Oh no. Is this actually part of the song, or is this just added in for a music video? Accelerating. I think that was all just added in for the sake of the music video. I don't think that was part of the actual song. I think the song ended where it cut. Do I take it into account? I mean, it is part of the overall presentation. I guess I kind of have to. Yeah, I do kind of have to, don't I? The bummer. I mean, it's part of the presentation, so I have to take it into account. Okay. All right. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Dreamcatcher with Chase Me. This was a request from Merrick Daron. Man, this was a bit of a roller coaster for me. I was thinking about this. I was taking everything into account, and the score went up, and then it came down, and then it came up again, then it went down again, and then it came up again. Man, talk about a roller coaster ride. But I have a score. I do have a score here. It makes perfect sense. I've taken everything into account here. And that's all I'm going to say for now, other than I'm ready to get the score. I'm going to save everything else for the review. No spoilers. Let's start with the score, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.5. Yup, 8.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.5. What does that mean? Well, an 8.5 would translate to a great scale rating. So overall, I think this was a great song. I'm going to speak more on that in just a little bit. It would also get 4 out of 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.5, great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. I'm gonna say something that you don't hear me say very often. I don't say this lightly. Out of all of the songs from Dreamcatcher that I've heard on the channel, I think this is my 6th or 7th reaction to them. Oh wait, hold on. No, that I did that song twice, so that's only once. It only counts for one. So is it 6 or is it 7? I'm not 100% sure, but in any case, I'm gonna go on record and say this is, and I don't say this lightly, I think this is my favorite song I've heard from them on the channel so far. This song was a lot of fun to listen to, and even more fun to figure out. The chordal progression in the chorus, in particular. And now listen, for the most part, okay, the intro made sense, the verses made sense, the main melodic line made sense, the chorus, for the most part, made sense too. It all sounded really nice. It sounded really good. Everything flowed well. Notation sounded really good. Main melodic lines, harmonic lines, counter melodic lines, call and response lines sounded all really nice. Everything across the board lined up, okay? It was very pleasing to the ear. We were in the high 7s, easily high 7s, okay? Now here's where things get interesting. Transitioning out of the chorus, back into the main riff again. The chord progression they chose from the D to the E, all in minor. Now here's where things got interesting. They went a major route, but they stayed on the minor progression. So they went from the E to the F, which is a flat 6, right? Flat 6, but F major to C major, which make this, I will say the C major makes sense because we go back down to the A minor to transition out. But here's the thing, going up like that, from the D to the E to the F to the C, now, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, hearing that chordal progression, D to the C to the F to the C, D to the E to the F to the C, naturally wants to resolve to the D. But instead we go down to the A. And that's why it felt like it was modulating, because it I wanted to go to the D from there. From the F to the from the D to the E to the F to the C back to the D. That would make up okay, how should I put this? You always hear me talk about predictability, right? And it's not a bad thing. Listening to that progression, predicting where it would resolve to, D to E to F to C, D, that would make the most sense, right? Root to the 2 to the 3 to the 7 to the root, if that were the case. But remember, we're in A minor. We're based on A minor. So F to the C major, and then going from the C major down 3 semitones to the A minor, the natural minor of the C major. That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. And I never saw it coming. That was a very nice surprise. Very pleasing to the ear. And I'm sorry, there's no way that was a happy little accident. That had to have been thought out. It had to have been thought out. It sounded really nice. It did. I liked it. Very hooky. Probably my favorite part of the song is coming out of the chorus. It's not even the whole chorus. It's not even the whole thing. It's just the last 2 measures of the chorus. Coming out of the chorus and going into the main riff. That transitional period. That, man, I could listen to that over and over and over again, and I would love it each and every time. But that's not to take away anything from the rest of the song from a chordal progression standpoint. Everything else sounded just fine. Everything sounded good. Everything flowed well. The usage of dynamics that you're coming down, coming out of the main riff, going back into the verse, and everybody drops out again. And then it gradually comes up and grows and grows and grows and grows again. I like that. They did that in the first verse and the second verse. I thought it made perfect sense. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Why not? It worked the first time. It should work the second time too. I will say the second verse sounded a little more intense than the first verse. So it didn't sound like a carbon copy cover. It wasn't, Control C, Control V, aha. It wasn't that. No. There was some slight differences. The other thing that really did me for this song, or the thing that really kind of hooked me on this song, was their play with feel. Constantly, okay, first of all, at that upbeat tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the tempo, because that's where it was in the chorus with that straight time feel. Snare on 2 and 4, but in the verses, having that halftime, or in the main riff, that halftime feel, snare only on 3, giving it that little extra heaviness. I like that transition between the two, strategically using them both in appropriate places. Now, can the argument be made that it was straight time and double time? Yes, that argument can be made, but I don't know. Something just tells me it was straight time and halftime at a faster tempo, rather than cutting that tempo in half and saying it's straight time and double time. Like I said, the argument can be made for both, and they both work. They both line up. So I guess it's really going to be kind of up to interpretation. And the only ones who really know for sure are Dreamcatcher. And I don't think they're going to be telling anybody. Something tells me they're kind of sneaky, and they're kind of like, we'll never tell. Something tells me they're like that. And that's fine. It leaves things open to interpretation, which kind of, in the end, kind of makes everybody happy. Everybody's going to hear it the way that they're going to want to hear it, and they're going to be cool with it. And that's perfectly fine. far as the vocals go, like I've always said about these ladies, I have a feeling they can sing pretty well on their own. Now, granted, this is a studio recording. And with all studio recordings these days, it's all Pro Tooled, okay? It absolutely is. There's gonna be pitch correction, there's gonna be mixing, there's gonna be leveling, there's gonna be filters thrown in there, there's gonna be all these things done to it, okay? To make it sound as good as it possibly can within the shortest amount of time. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, in the music industry, time is money. And I promise you, with, I think there's 7 vocalists. Is it? I know it's an odd number. I think it's 7. With 7 vocalists, all recording parts, I'm going to tell you guys straight up, there's no engineer and there's no producer in their right mind these days that's going to let those ladies go in there and do 20 to 30 takes each to get the best possible take. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. They're going to take, they're going to let each lady go in there, do 3 takes, maybe 4, possibly 5, but I doubt it. And then they're going to take those, cut them up, and paste them together to get the best possible mix, to get the best possible lines. They liked this verse, and they liked this chorus. Let's put them together. We'll grab this verse from this line, and we'll take this take, we'll take this part and put it over here. And that's how they're going to do it, to save time, okay? Now, if I had heard these ladies perform this song in a live setting and it sounded like that, seeing them actually perform it live with no lip syncing, actually singing it live, I'm going to tell you right now, the score would have gone up. Absolutely. But I know this is a studio recording. I know what it is. I know how studio recordings work. I know how the music industry is. And I know what happened. So it's fine. It's perfectly fine. The ladies sounded good on the recording. I have no issue with that. I'm just going to say I would be far more impressed with a live performance. But in any case, getting an 8.5, not easy to do on the channel. That's not an easy score to get. So yeah, good on them. I dug the song. I thoroughly enjoyed the song. And believe it or not, this is one of those songs that I would actually listen to the song again. Now, playlists, I don't know if I would go that far. I don't know if I would go as far as to put this on a playlist. But if someone were to say, listen to this, I would listen to it without complaint. And every once in a while, there's going to be that time I'm going to want to listen to something like this, believe it or not. And I'll be sure to put it on. So, yeah, I dug it. I enjoyed it. I had a great time figuring it out. And I absolutely believe that 8.5 is deserved. So that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.5, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.